Radio Zero.
It's Radio Zero with Rick and Rose. Post assassination attempt, day 5 or whatever day it is. I don't know. I can't even think anymore.
We live stream every other week. This week, we're streaming at 5:30 p.m. Friday, but typically 5 p.m. On Facebook, on the Radio Zero page, on the Poster Children page on Facebook, on Twitch at PCJC USA, and on the Poster Children YouTube channel. You can subscribe to the podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. Go to radiozero.us. You can patronize us at patreon.com/radiozero. And guess what, Rose?
Romper, bumper,
Oh, wow.
dumper, boo. Tell me, do.
Never
Tell
rains,
me,
but it
magic
pours.
mirror today. Did all of my friends have fun at play?
New patron.
Wow.
Jeremy.
Thanks.
Oh, Jeremy A.
Aw, thanks, Jeremy. That's so nice of you. Thank you.
I have an email in progress to Jeremy also.
Oh, to thank him.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, not that, but thank you.
Okay.
All right. So where do you want to start? I feel like I need to prioritize our the podcasting laptop in our on our Wi-Fi. So it would be great if you, as you
Start
to do, just start talking.
Just start
which you're
talking.
Not doing.
Just
yeah.
start flapping my mouth
your-
off. Flapping your gums.
Yeah.
Since I'm going to lose my teeth soon, probably. Okay. Well, Rick and I had a date. We had our first date in 35 years last night. I know it's not true. We had a date like a couple of years ago too. But we drove up. No, we always have dates, but they're work dates, right? Or sleep dates. We both go to bed in the same bed. That's like a date, right? Did you want me to keep talking?
No. Let me try to get this done.
But we drove up to the big city of Chicago and we saw the band Off! ! Is that how you pronounce their name?
No, you just say off. I don't think you.
We saw the band Off. We saw them Off.
I don't think the exclamation point is. I think it's silent.
Yeah, we saw Off, and it was supposed to be Off and Shellac. That would have been quite a show, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but we drove up there, and I was happy that you asked me. I feel bad. You're like, do you want to go see Off with me? I was like, yeah. I like I love punk rock, and I always like. I know when I would hear like a California and they're affiliated with the Circle Jerks in that the lead singer.
Keith Morris, yes.
Keith Morris, yeah. Like anytime I hear a Circle Jerks song, I'm always like, "What's that?" Oh, it's Circle Jerks. Oh, I love Circle Jerks, but I can't remember. Like that was a million years ago because you don't normally hear them on the radio, on NPR that I listen to all the time. Not a sponsor. So
that's a pretty major lapse in like the in between music on NPR, is you never hear like a classic Circle Jerks or Black Flag tune.
Yeah.
In between the Trump announcements.
And again, I know nothing. Yeah, we'll get into that in a little while. I know nothing about Black Flag. I really don't. I know that they had a female bass player. And I know Henry Rollins was in it, and he doesn't have a neck. And he's friends with and Lou Reed doesn't have a neck. This is how my mind connects all this stuff. And he's friends with Ian MacKaye, or he was, or they would talk.
Lou Reed? Amazing.
No, and they both worked at an ice cream place, right? Or something. Mm-hmm. They all work at an ice cream place. So, all right, where was I? So we drove up to Chicago. We stopped in Orland Park, is it? Is that where we stopped? Because I met a family today at open house at Illinois State University, a sponsor. But not really a sponsor. I met a family that was from Orland Park, and I was like, I was just in Orland Park yesterday, and they were like, oh yeah, and I was like, uh-huh. You're like, I'm the director of the program. Yeah, I went to see Off, this great punk rock band. Like I was like, yeah, and I went to a vegan restaurant in your town
After charging my Tesla.
After charging my Tesla, it was like, it's like I said.
I'm like, you know those books where you would like flip like you'd have it was like sliced into three parts and you'd have a head and then you'd put a different body and you'd be able to flip and create these combo people and it was like
that's what like, it was.
That happened to me today talking to my personal trainer.
God.
I just started talking. Yeah, I talked about the show and then it just tumbled into a whole long
because you came home. Dow was doing his violin lesson with like a very strict prim and proper violin lesson violin teacher online, and you're like, the personal trainer knows that I played at CBGB's and he knows who you are too now. And he knows who you are too, Dow. And it's like, wait, what? So go ahead, tell us. Did you tell him that your neck was sore from bouncing your head? Is that how it came? Okay.
No.
What'd you do? Hey, what tell me, recreate the
I want to hear more. Yeah. So no, but I mean, all the things that we were probably going to talk about today, it's all going to come out.
Did you talk?
What's funny, I think the thing is that like anytime I said this to our child as like anytime I don't really like telling people too much about myself because it really stops making sense very quickly. Like I sound like I'm a
liar.
It's not
which
even
is in
a liar,
style right now.
Like mentally ill, I think. Or
or embellishing things.
Yeah.
I have a Tesla, and
I'm a college professor.
College professor. I have tenure.
Yeah, I did play at CBGB's. Have you heard of CBGB's? Actually, yeah, I played there. And oddly enough, just today, I was talking about CBGB's, which we can talk about, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Teaser. Anyways, so yeah, we saw Off.
Oh, that's right.
We drove up in our
Tesla, stopped at Orland Park. That was the thing. Is it why were you in? They didn't ask me why I was in Orland Park. I was like, oh, I was just in Orland Park, and I was like, I stopped at like rerun like saying the sentence in my head before I said I stopped at your Mariano's
to buy face masks.
To buy face masks
because we're worried about COVID.
And charged my Tesla there. And then we went to your can't believe it's not meat vegan restaurant and then drove up. Somebody was in our parks. What is it? Spot Hero fucking
spot.
Parking. Oh, Bob Weston is texting me now, but he's probably not listening to this. Hopefully not. But I'll talk about him if he is. Stop and then went to see this classic punk rock band named Off.
But you didn't say any of that.
No, I was like, I was just in your town yesterday, and they were like, and I was like, Jody.
I'll hand it off there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, okay. I'll tell you what Bob said later. Yeah. I know.
And then so it's Yeah. Oh, what I was going to say about the Tesla. So yeah, we have a Fire Elon sticker on the back of our Tesla, but I'm also realizing now that it's like I'm worried. I'm thinking about the future, and I know we don't want to get into this yet, but I'm like being able to cross state lines and go through drive through the red zone of America. Let's just say is like I think I'll like having a Tesla actually will be able to pass through the like checkpoint Charlie, like whatever's going to be set up between here, like Chicago and Indiana, right? And
we won't be able to though,
Illinois and Missouri and Illinois and Iowa and Illinois and Wisconsin. We'll see whether or not there's going to be a checkpoint Charlie between. But
the thing is that the new upgrade that we need, right, when there's a recall, it's going to find out that we're registered. We're not really registered Democrats, are we? It's going to know, though, somehow, and then the car's going to not work.
It's going to brick.
Yeah, it's going to brick.
On January of 2025, like January, 20th? Whatever.
January 6th? January 20th?
Oh, yeah, maybe it'll be January 6th. We're going to
okay.
move the inauguration to January 6th.
Anyway, so I didn't finish up with the family.
Aren't you going to have to change the Constitution to do that? Sure. We'll do that.
Yeah,
We'll
not
do
a
that.
problem.
Yeah, not a problem.
It doesn't matter. No, like they can just
You know what? Take it to the Supreme Court.
Okay, so I don't even know where to start with the politics.
We don't have to. We can talk a little bit about off.
Okay,
I guess that all fits in together, though. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, so
Let's just roll naturally.
all right, let's roll naturally. So when we got to the off show, we saw Kristen Thompson. Right? Is that her last name? Oh God, I hope that's right. Kristen from Tsunami.
Yeah, Kristen.
Yeah, let's just say that.
Yeah.
Why was she there?
Oh, why was she there?
Yeah.
Oh,
'cause
she had gotten.
She doesn't live. She
No,
doesn't live here. Yeah, she
lives
doesn't
in-
live here. She lives in Philadelphia or wherever.
Near it, yeah, like
Yeah.
in Pennsylvania, yeah. In
We stayed at
in
her
swing
house.
country.
Yeah, actually, yeah. What was she doing in Chicago? Maybe
She got tickets for the show. She
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, shellac and off. I'm going."
That would have
You
been
know?
incredible.
Yeah, it was, and but like us, we got those tickets. But I was curious about seeing off before, because off is finishing up. I think they're breaking up or ending, whatever. All those bands. I mean, off is a relatively new band, but it's kind of like Circle Jerks. Right where had broken up numerous times. So it's kind of typical for the hardcore, right?
Dan has sent me a very long message that he didn't share in the chat because he wasn't sure if but it's got to do with Joe Lally, and I'm just gonna,
gosh.
just think he takes lessons from him.
Oh,
Is that
yeah.
what I saw? Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah. So that's why Kristen was there. She decided and went to see the movie. That's the thing, is they have a movie.
We were really
and
mad.
Yeah, I forgot. I totally spaced that.
Yeah.
The night the tour or the shows off are doing it's kind of a 2-day thing in each town. They're they premiered their movie at the Music Box, I believe.
Right, and people who we talked to said it was fantastic, and
It's
weird, very, very weird. It wasn't a documentary; it was just crazy.
It's the new.
Yeah.
It's this
year's
century's Repo Man.
Yeah. So that was like
So now I'm excited to
yeah,
see it.
yeah. So we need to put it on here in Bloomington.
Oh,
Normal.
okay. Yeah,
you need to do that.
Have a showing.
Okay, there's a lot of people talking here. All three of our listeners, or 8 or something. We got Cody B saying, "Tear up the Constitution, King Elon," and Philly represent Purple State. This is things that Cody has written.
Yeah, purple.
Mm-hmm. Dannon says, "Happy Friday." Larry is saying, "Are you guys?" Yeah, and Bob is texting me. Larry says, "Are you guys going to see Bikini Kill in August?"
No, I don't think so.
Not as far as I know. No. If they're coming to see us, then then I will see them. Yeah. No, but good. I hope people go to see them. They're awesome. They were on.
By the way, there will be no purple states.
Yeah. Okay, Tim Bowers says, "Greetings from No Place Special." Tim, anywhere you are is special. And he loves Tsunami. A brilliant mistake, top 10 album of mine. Okay. So I'll just say that, I was getting very excited to see Off because I like punk rock. I like California punk rock. And they had they started with just one high watt up on the stage, right? And they started their song, started a song, and I don't know, 20 seconds into it, the high watt died.
Yeah, just
and you could just hear the bass, it fizzled out too, it fizzled, and then you could just hear the bass and the vocals, right? And I was like, oh man, because they were really they just started 60 miles an hour, or 120 miles an hour. So we had to wait. They brought out another high watt head on top of the high watt, and that one didn't work either. So,
same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
So and then
out.
I was talking to some other guitar,
talking to me.
indie rockers. No, but afterwards.
Yeah.
Where it was and not I think it was all rental, backline, right?
Yeah.
And so it was and there are all these techs moving them around trying to get them started again, and I'm like, are these kids who don't even know how tube amps work, and they plugged in the amp with a guitar cable, right?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to use a guitar cable
because they don't even know you're supposed to.
They blew two heads,
yeah.
And it's oh, what's the homage? And I was saying, and to these other guitar players, is I was getting ready to go up there and start, yelling questions. Is did you check the homage? Is it a guitar cable or speaker cable between the amp and the cabinet? And start yelling because I have a couple of high watts, and it's just all this stuff. And it was Sense Memory, Panic,
Yeah.
and seeing them blow 2 high watts, and I'm sure the guitar, I forgot his name, from Off. I'm sure he knows, amp stuff, but he's just there with his guitar, and they're working on the back line.
That's what I remember about Lincoln Hall. Was there was a lot of helpers, and then there was like you couldn't play after a certain time because of the neighborhood. I think it was nice neighborhood. All right, Tim Bauer says Dannon says Minnesota should be allowed to be a purple state in honor of Prince, and Larry says he's never heard of Off until we posted the video last night. Now he's interested. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
really,
you need
really
to
good.
like the first 4 EPs. So the thing is about those first 4 EPs, like they did the classic, just like those first Minutemen and Black Flag, where it's 4 songs on a 7-inch, and so Off, went in.
We should do this. By the way.
Wow, that's really weird. I mean, I talked about that 4 or 5 years ago, but then it didn't pan out. So the first 4 EPs, I think, are collected into. I love that. It's like 16 2-minute songs.
I meant let's write a bunch of punk rock songs
and put it out on a 7-inch.
Well,
that's what I said.
Yeah,
that was
fine.
my thing.
Yeah, well, so we can't do it now because one other band did
I don't
it?
know. It's frustrating when you let's not get into it.
Okay.
You start out and you try to work on music, and then it doesn't happen.
So anyway, they finally put some other amp, like a combo amp that they couldn't mess
Trainer.
up, right? It was a Trainer.
It was a Trainer, and
All
so
right.
the Trainer saved the day. A solid state. They plopped
Yeah.
a solid state combo amp, so then you don't have to worry about
Just so you know that
mismatch
Yeah.
or using the wrong type of cable between your amp and cabinet. It's because you got that nice combo amp, and then it all went fine from there. They also had a saxophone guy, so they would do noodly saxophone through delay stuff.
Yeah, that was interesting, and he had like pink glasses and stuff. That was cool.
It was definitely like a Stooges reference, I think. Because what's his name plays on which Stooges record? There's saxophone on the Stooges record. It's that same kind of. It was that vibe.
So I'm gonna get spoiler alert or trigger warning. I'm gonna get political now. So we're waiting for a while, and Keith keeps saying, sorry for all the delays and stuff. Sorry for all the technical difficulties and stuff. And then you can tell that like they plugged in the Trainer amp. It's getting, the guitarist is getting his sounds and stuff, and like I could see he's got like 1,000 pedals like up. It looked like he had like a ton of pedals, so his sound must be very important to him, I thought. And then it's building up. It's starting. You can tell they're getting ready to start, and then my watch buzzed. Like it looks like yours just did. My watch buzzed. I looked at it and I saw what has been really fucking dragging me down for the past 2 weeks. The little New York fucking Times logo on it. And then, the picture pops up and it's Trump's head. But anytime the New York Times logo comes up on your watch and there's a picture of somebody, they've died. Except for Trump. He's still alive. So picture comes up and it's like Trump, and then like I like kind of glance and it's like Trump just accepted his like right then the music started and I was like, yes. I was like the most and I was thinking to myself, 95%, I think I said 80%, but probably 95% of the people standing in that room, all in their late 50s with Apple Watches or whatever the fuck you have on your watch, just got their little New York Times little buzz with Trump's face on it. At like New York Times, right? And that says, "Hey, Trump just got his nomination," and right at the same time, and the chord struck. The off chord struck, and then I was like, okay, punk rock is going to save all of us.
It is, and it just reminded me how punk rock saved us from Reagan, and how punk rock saved us from that first Trump term.
We're still here, right? We're still here, so it did. What else do you think saved us, or wasn't so bad?
Yeah.
So we may as well get into this now. I mean, I love the New York Times as much as anybody else loves the New York Times.
As much as you love,
when you take a shit,
200-year-old great grandmother who is occasionally spouting off racist, right wing things.
Yeah, that's how I love the New York Times.
She's a sweet person.
What the fuck is going on? What the fuck? I'm sorry for swearing, but what the fuck is going on? I don't understand this at all. And I understand now because now it's like, oh, Trump wasn't that bad. And, wow, it's a new Trump. He wasn't as bad as we expected. And that's like a plus then. That's like a thumbs up because Trump wasn't as bad as you expected. And what you expected was like what did I say this morning? I was so tired, right? It's like a heaping pile of dog shit that really, really smells. It's been smelling really, really bad because the dog is poisoned. But you know what? It's kind of drying up now, so it doesn't smell as bad. Hey, that's cool. I'd like to live with that in my house for the next 4 years. Go on.
And I'm trying to remember, so I had my rant this morning, which only with the boys at the kitchen table. I'm trying to remember what triggered me, the New York Times article, and it just went off. Yeah, and one of them is okay, he's older, but then I apologized to the younger one, and then the older one said to the younger one, "You'll understand in a few years why this is important." But it's an article about Republican women, or like it's about like the style of these candidates' wives. It was an article that came up in my feed.
Wow.
Like my
how to dress like them?
Well,
maybe
it's
I
more,
should look into that.
I didn't read it, but I was just like, they're just normalizing these people. It's like, what is going on? And it was really really
I don't
upsetting.
get so like right after we even had a Radio Zero since the debate.
Yes.
We had and we were
I
like,
believe.
oh my God, what the hell? Oh no. And then and everybody's continuously calling. Larry likes my use of shit as a metaphor. I'm sorry that was the best thing you've heard all day, Larry. You need to get out more, but good, thank you. Now I forgot what I was saying. It's we're in the stage now. If you're listening to this 20 years from now, and the world is still here, and there's still electricity, and there's still internet, we are at the point now where people are lots of people are calling for. Wait a minute, lots of people are calling for Biden to step down, but we don't know who they are yet. It's voices. It's insider trading. Insider voices are suggesting that Biden steps down because he's old. And also Trump wasn't so bad this time. And then another insider voice. Somebody else who is obviously not going to be chosen, as a running mate in the when Kamala Harris steps in and needs a running mate. Also, what was it? Who was the actor called for
George Clooney?
There've been like three names of people that three people have given their names, have lent their names, and everything else is the New York Times saying, well, insiders have said that Biden should that other insiders are saying that Biden should step down. And it's a constant more and more articles constantly coming out about, seems like another person might be thinking that Biden should step down. It's 2:00. We haven't had another article yet, New York Times, about how Biden should step down. You know what? People are still saying that Biden should step down after the horrendous debate that happened. And Trump. We didn't even get to the. Larry's asking about the tampons on the ears. Okay, so let's move on.
So the article was called, I don't know how to pronounce her name, Usha Vance, and the iconography of the Trump women. The potential second lady models a new kind of Republican image making.
Fuck you! Is that the New York fucking Times?
Yeah.
You know what? I pay for the New York Times? I pay for their fucking creamy ass recipes for like New York East Coast people and their fucking cream. Well, let's put cream on this. Let's put cream on that. Fuck you. All right.
Your wasp food.
Fuck your creamy fucking East Coast wasp food. What do we do? Where do we get our? Oh God. Okay, so we haven't even gotten to the asshole he gets shot at. Oh, I was playing a show. I was playing I was playing drums. In Bloc au Gavillon for like the Iliac. I need to say all this because it's so cool, right? The in Champagne, and you guys came to see me. That was so nice. But I get off the stage and it was very hot. I get off the stage and you go, and I was like, Rick is here. It's so cool that Rick was here to see me. And then you go, I don't want to freak you out, but Trump just got shot at during your show. and
he wasn't in the audience.
Did he die? Yeah. Did he die? And you're like, no, he didn't die. So Trump got shot at, and the minute we found out that he got shot at, we all knew he was going to be the president, right? Because we all have seen Bob Roberts, and we know that's what happens when you get shot at. You become a martyr. You become Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that what went on in your head?
Well, yeah, but then talking to what do I call him? Mestre Denis.
Oh, Mestre Denny. Mestre Denny.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, that's Bolsonaro." Bolsonaro. Yeah, he got stabbed, and that was it was like, "Oh, that's it." that was it's perfect to get a bump, in an election.
But so
for
it's
a strong
so,
man.
Yeah, I was thinking it's early. There's still 4 months left. They're going to really, like, the American public is going to have to remember that he got shot at. Like, they're going to, so, and then you were talking
relying
about
on the fast news cycle, like super accelerated news and bot cycle.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, because that like for a little while. How does our song go? For a moment, for a moment, we stopped thinking about whether or not Biden was too old to be president. Like, for a moment.
But listening, I had talked to you about that person who was talking about the narratives that both campaigns were following, and so the narrative and the narrative that the Trump campaign, even before the debate, was Trump strong, Biden weak. And so this just plays into that narrative. Biden weak, the bad debate performance, and then Trump getting shot and surviving and
standing up and going, fight,
pumping his
fight,
fist. Yeah,
fight.
That's the narrative.
Holy
Whereas
shit.
the Biden campaign's narrative is that democracy hangs in the balance, right? And this is dangerous. These are dangerous people.
You're scared. You weak person, you think democracy is going to hang in the balance? Trump is going to fight for our rights to party. So is there any chance, and I hope that nobody, I'm going to have to go under an assumed name or something like that. The bullet that grazed Trump hasn't been found yet, is what Larry's saying. Is there any chance that this was not set up? Like that they didn't know about it? Is there any chance that this is not part of like a,
I mean,
that part of a TV show, part of the reality TV show,
like a false flag operation, or
is there any chance that it's not a false flag?
Yeah, I think it totally. So I mean, so here's the thing: haven't you said for every day of the past almost decade, like why has no one tried to shoot Trump yet? Right? It's just
my mom says that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody says it, it's like, why,
shot him,
And
but
so
it's a Republican. Why did a Republican? We don't even know about that either, right? Nobody's telling us why Republicans. I know he's crazy. He gave money to the Democrats, and his
mom's a Democrat, and his dad's a libertarian.
Yeah,
so there you go.
Fault.
I mean, that's
all you need to know. That's why
all you need to know.
That's why he shot at him. And then there's a question, like, so. All right, so you're thinking, what's the thing where, like, the most basic
Occam's razor?
Yeah, Occam's razor.
Yeah,
okay,
totally.
all right. So it's not a setup, and I really refrain at this point from just posting anything else on social media about it. And I'm not going to be like, good, he got shot at, and I wish he was dead. I'm not there yet with him. I don't wish anybody was dead except for what's his name, the turtle.
I don't believe in violence and political violence, especially as for problem solving.
Yeah.
So if he had been killed, I mean, it's like, wow, oh, so problem solved. Everything will be fine now. And it's like that
Million
wouldn't have-
little.
Oh,
yeah,
it would.
yeah.
It's just a completely different nightmare scenario that would
Little
unfold.
Van slits. Yeah.
And that's the thing too, is like talking. Yeah, that, and I think we talked about this probably 8 years ago or whatever. Is like Trump is not actually the problem. He's the symptom, or he's
the zit head. He's the little pus coming out of your
the
black
manifestation of this. He is. And like when I was doing my, multi-level marketing pyramid scheme rant, I mean, he's part of this whole late stage capitalism endpoint, late stage democracy, late stage humanity, right? He's just part of that sort of momentum system, right? He's not the instigator, right? He's writing it. I don't know. And that's not to say that he doesn't have power. I mean, yeah, he's powerful and will change things, but it's and so that means, if you eliminate him, it's not going to cure everything.
Right. And I don't wish him dead. I can't. I don't think that's nice.
It's not nice. But it's
So Dan says, I've been thinking that it might be a false flag operation, but this is the first time I've heard somebody else suggest it. Larry says Mark David Chapman was a fan of John Lennon, and yet he shot him.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing is like there are all sorts of reasons for why people want to kill, and it's not
for
always
notoriety.
political.
Maybe notoriety.
Exactly, totally.
Yeah, and so the guy's dead. Somebody else died. Saving, rescuing. It is amazing. Maybe God did protect Trump. There were like memes with somebody. People are saying that an angel protected Trump. So he could save America. I kind of believe that. And I think probably. Maybe I'm the baddie. Maybe angels and God and Jesus do want Trump to win. Maybe I'm on the wrong side. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I don't believe that. And there was somebody talking about that concept of, it's not protection. What do they call it when like that idea of?
Oh yeah,
God. It's not the idea that God protects you. It was the way they're twisting that kind of biblical idea of God protecting. It's more about responsibility. It was weird. Yeah, I need to look it up and figure it out again because I'm not explaining it right. But it's kind of like it's a twisted way of saying, oh, God is protecting him. The kind of quotes that they're using to say, oh, this is that idea. It's been, well, obviously it's been twisted, and I guess anybody can interpret it. But anyways, all right.
Cody is asking, why didn't the angels save the guy who actually died? What the hell?
Yeah,
and Cody, that's because that guy gave his life just like Jesus did, in order to save the rest of the world. Trump is the one who's going to carry out the grand plan.
But I mean, why does this dad have to be killed in order for Trump
Jesus
to get
have to
his
die?
ear clipped?
Why did Jesus have to die?
For our sins.
Well, so that's why this guy died.
Why not kill Trump for our sins? Because he's
obviously you're not God material. Larry says the only thing that saved Trump was when he turned his head to look at the board of the screen he was looking at. That's not what saved him. Jesus saved him. Teleprompter. Okay. All right. So let's move on. So he's still alive. People are shitting their pants over him, that he was protected. And I actually think the news cycle, I think in 4 months nobody's going to be talking about that anymore. I think next week nobody will be talking about it anymore. In fact, what's going to happen next week?
Well, Biden's going to drop out.
Yeah. And then I thought maybe Biden was going to drop out. Like we were laughing a little. We were like, what if he drops out right at the end, like Trump finishes he gets his nomination and then Biden drops out. And that would totally usurp the news cycle.
Yeah, but that's not, they won't
not
do
worth
that.
it.
They'll wait until
Yeah.
it's there's a bit of a buffer, so it's not that Trump made him quit. And then
right, yeah. And is he going to quit though before the DNC? When is the DNC?
See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Is maybe they might do the first vote. What if they do the first vote and then he gives he steps down and says his delegates go to Kamala Harris?
Can I ask you a question? Who is this going to be sponsored by, Biden dropping down? Is that going to be like a Coke thing, or is it going to be like who's that? Who's going to get the sponsorship for that?
What corporate
yeah.
business elites are capitalist elites are sponsoring?
Not Coke
Biden's
Coke Brothers.
Coke Brothers, yeah. No, they're I don't know. Well, George Clooney, I guess he's not rich enough, but
yeah. Okay, so he drops out.
Well, I guess it would have to be George Soros, apparently.
There you go.
Right.
Kamala Harris takes she's going to I was talking to some people don't understand why Kamala Harris has to be the next one, but it's because it's going to look really bad if you like, you know, go like don't choose her. First of all, second of all, she's got access to all the money that they raised, you know, because of the rules, and third of all, she was elected, you know, which I don't
primary.
think she's yeah. And what's the fourth? I'm sure there's another reason why she has to be. She's perfect. Right? She's tough on crime, and she can talk about abortion. And like when people finish with the tampons on the ears, like, you know, being like in solidarity with Trump, it's going to go back to, daddy got, you know, my sister pregnant. Daddy got my sister pregnant again. She's going to need another abortion. We're going to have to go back to Illinois again from wherever, you know, and then all of a sudden, like,
how about we do like a family trip where we'll take our daughter to get the abortion in Illinois, and then I'll drive up to assassinate J.B. Pritzker just to make it all even out. Right? That's the kind of logic that would happen.
Oh man!
In the
that's the other thing. I was
going
to mention, like out of all this, like the only thing that's saving me, like I have been going online and doom scrolling stuff, and then every so often in Facebook, like there's like some glorious post by J.B. Pritzker about argon, you know, and like innovation in Illinois and stuff. So, you know, so great, or about how like intelligence, you know, is. You can tell somebody's intelligent because they're compassionate. You know, it's just like, oh my God, what a mensch. You know, please, I don't want to lose him to him being, being Kamala Harris's running mate. I don't want, I can't stand those little fucking laughing faces next to his posts and people going, well, you're evil. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, I can't stand it. You think he's too left-wing?
Oh, yeah, but he does do a very good job of expressing progressive ideas, and he's also a billionaire. So again, we've always talked about this.
I'm biased. He's in Illinois, and we don't need Illinois, and we have Illinois. Illinois is going to go to Democrats, so they don't need.
Yeah, the reality is though is like, yeah, I love Kamala Harris, and I think she'd be great, but I just don't believe in America, and enough people will vote for a woman or a woman of color. I don't believe it. But I also didn't believe that a guy named Barack Obama could win, you know, a state Senate seat, or he was a representative. Yeah, no,
he was
when
from
we started
Illinois.
seeing those signs,
that worked.
Yeah, that worked. But it's so I've been wrong before, but it's just like I don't believe.
Oh,
I don't believe.
I was wrong. I said Trump would never get elected. I couldn't believe that. So. Brad Locke here is going. I think it should be sponsored by opioids. That's appropriate for all this craziness. You're right. Yeah, sponsored by opioids. Well, that would be brilliant. You get the opioid companies; they get to advertise for Biden's big announcement. Biden's going to have a big announcement. It's going to be like the Emmys, like the Academy Awards. All right, so actually, I was listening. I couldn't listen to the last day of the Trump because we were at the off concert, so I couldn't listen to it anyway. But I heard it was all about wrestling and stuff. Like it was like Hulk Hogan came in and like tore his shirt off or something. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, but then had another shirt. Like it had like
Yeah.
a,
Oh yes. Yeah. Trump shirt.
Trump shirt,
Right.
Trump
So-
Vance shirt.
so-
Yeah, and so for me, I mean, this is what I talked about. I think the first Trump thing is like, to me, I go back to, multi-level marketing, Amway, Reagan.
Explain that.
No, I don't need
Okay,
to
all right,
explain
all right,
that
you did it
anymore.
last time. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And then Ronald Reagan, but then I also talk about professional wrestling, as I honestly believe that I lay it at the feet of part of this at the feet of professional wrestling. I think that lie that's at the heart of professional wrestling.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's poisoned. It's a poison seed that's infested everything in our culture, right? I believe.
Why stop there though, Rick? Maybe it's just theater in general.
I mean, yeah, you could
Theater is a
blame
lie.
theater. That's a huge thing, but I guess yeah. So
I
all
don't
theater
want
is a
to.
lie. Actors are liars. What is that? That's Galaxy Quest, right? Is like like where the aliens
Oh,
find
yeah,
out that they're
yeah.
actors
Oh, that's
and they
such a
don't
good
understand
movie.
it because it's like, so
Yeah.
you're liars.
Yeah.
People, you lie for a living, right? That kind of thing. So I guess yeah, you
Yeah.
could say that.
Yeah.
So
I'm
all
sorry,
of theater
Yeah.
or the arts is all about lies, but no, but I would say
No, it's
that,
the wrestling though. It's
that-
different. Yeah.
yeah, that post or sort of post truth. I think all of that you could say that is all of that, the kind of like winking, sort of real unreal conflict, the hyper reality of wrestling. I think that's, and so having Hulk Hogan introduce
Yeah,
Trump,
it's perfect.
it's perfect.
So
And
who's
it's
going to introduce Biden when he does? He's going to step
Rowdy
down.
Roddy Piper, and he's going to put on a pair of sunglasses and just look around, and then it's like pictures of Trump with like molten skeletal face, and it's like that's
I don't
gotta
get the
just-
reference.
That's They Live.
Oh, okay.
And
all
Roddy
right,
Piper
Yeah.
was in They Live and was a wrestler.
No,
also.
but so Biden's going to step down. Kamala Harris is going to take up the reins. How is that? She's gonna. There's going to be a big uterus like picture. She's going to like pop out of it like this, right? Who's going to introduce her?
like
Oprah Winfrey.
running. It's like a big paper
shim
that she runs
it's
through.
going to be Oprah Winfrey, right? I'm right about this, or Michelle Obama, but Oprah Winfrey.
all of them, all three.
Oh
of them.
yeah, are going to be there with her. Okay, but how? First, Biden's got to step down. So who's going to be there when he steps down? Who's going to take his hand and let him step down? Like
Lead him off the pedestal.
He's so. What did you say?
Lead him off the pedestal.
Yeah. Who's
Like,
going to do this?
Put
Yes.
the hand out.
He's on a pedestal. He all right. So he just, there's a big pedestal, and then it like comes down like this. He's on top of it. It's a what's her name reference?
It's like a holy trinity of Michelle Obama, Oprah
Yeah.
Winfrey, and Kamala Harris. They
that
sort
comes
of
afterwards.
surround him
Oh
in a hug, and then he disappears.
oh yeah. Like oh my God.
Goes
You
down
know what?
through a trapdoor in the stage.
They do a fake Alec Guinness thing. he goes away with the force.
They actually just show a big video.
Oh,
right.
JB
and
and the
then
dish. Who I don't. That's a great name for you. If that really is your name, just writes his family.
his family.
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
true.
Good. Come on. No. Go on. What were you saying? There's a.
I was just imagining a video where it's Trump in like a Darth Vader kind of outfit, and then
Yeah.
like it's just like a big video at the opening of the convention, and it's Trump as Darth Vader, and then Joe Biden as Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then there's that moment where Joe Biden's fighting. They're fighting.
They're pitching
Trump.
this. Yeah.
And then there's
yeah.
that moment Joe looks at the screen and looks at us just like he looks
yeah,
at
yeah,
Luke,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
then
And
he gets
then
whacked.
he gets
Or actually, no, he looks at Kamala.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. All right. And they're pitching this right now. And George Lucas is sitting at a table just like this, overlooking like mountains and stuff, overlooking the ocean. And he just goes like this. He goes, no. And then he walks out of the room. That's what's happening
won't
right
allow
now.
it.
Yeah. No, he just says no one walks out of the room.
Yeah.
He's mercurial that way. So then they go, damn, it was such a good idea. So they can't do the Star Wars reference. So since you can't, let's think back to Joe's time. Now, wait, maybe they do like the Academy
1940s?
Awards. Yeah, they do Academy Awards type like black and white like show in the background with sweeping music.
Where
his like
where the former
yeah.
Oh,
The
that
people
is
who got-
actually
yeah,
what,
yeah.
what
They-
somebody was talking about. Is you got Bill Clinton comes up on stage. You got
Oh.
Barack Obama. Maybe you got Hillary Clinton.
No,
you got
no, you don't know. She wants to be part of it,
who's
but
left?
she can't be.
But they do that thing like they do at the Academy Awards now that
Yeah,
I hate,
yeah,
where the
yeah, yeah,
nominees
yeah,
they
yeah.
say wonderful things about the nominees
JB
from the
says
stage.
Mark Hamill will do it.
Yeah,
You're right.
okay.
Mark Hamill's already doing it. He's like knocking on the door. He's like waiting. Yeah, he's got the idea. So okay, all right. So I'm sorry. Go on.
No, yeah.
They're on the stage. They
There is some form of that's going to happen where it's people talking about how great Joe Biden.
Yeah, they have
was
the black and
the
white
legacy.
movie playing behind him with the music and stuff like that. Then they come up and they walk him off, right? And then the movie
So,
goes black,
again, this
and
is
then
a reference,
that goes
and then
down,
they
and then we
lead
got
him-
the vagina thing.
Lead him into
Trinity.
the building, and then he lays down on a couch, and they show him pictures of like fields and trees and plants and animals, like Edward G. Robinson
hate
at
that.
the end
I
of
don't like
Soylent
that.
Green,
Yeah,
or
I
not
don't
the
like
end,
that.
but the Soylent Green thing where
Yeah.
if you go
He's-
to the death chamber, they show you what the world used to look like with all the beautiful flowers and plants and
Because you're
animals.
30 and you have to die now.
No,
right?
no, not
What was it?
no. This
Oh,
is different.
this is- okay.
And that's Logan's Run.
You got it mixed up. I think
No.
Logan's really
So there's euthanasia in Soylent Green also.
Okay.
Edward G. Robinson goes to
Okay.
the euthanasia building, and so the earth has been scorched, right? And it's overpopulated, and they're
Yeah.
using people for food. Spoiler alert for Soylent Green, but it's like in Children of Men, right? So Michael Caine does the same thing. He takes
Yeah.
the death pill, right? It's that thing. But Edward G. Robinson goes to the euthanasia center, and the last thing you do is you lie in that big sort of auditorium where they project beautiful scenes of Earth and play classical music, and then
I
you
don't
die.
think. No, that's sad. So that's not what's going to happen. I don't like that. So he's dressed
But
in a
that's
blue
sad.
suit. Biden's dressed in a blue suit. It's shiny. He's got like a little white like handkerchief type thing and stuff. They're playing the movie behind him, and the movie is just him, like all his accomplishments and stuff. There's words too. There's flags flying and stuff like that. I was saying he like descends like on a post, like a Lenny Reifman, like a reference to.
See now when you say there's pictures and video and then
Yeah.
words, then I think about the parallax view, and then that thing, the psych test, where they have the pictures and it's all sorts
yeah.
of beautiful, wonderful things, and then slowly
Yeah.
it turns into all sorts of horrible things and words like.
This is good. You have the knowledge of these movies. These would be movies though that he would like. Like we can't, but we also got to tie it to a newer movie. We like
For yeah.
like
Why?
wait, how can
No,
we do
this
the Manchurian Candidate type? Okay, we're all right. So anyway, he's wearing the blue suit. Okay, after the movie finishes, then all the presidents. You got your Jimmy Carter's dead, right?
Not yet.
Okay, yeah, you wheel him out. He's there. You got who else is there? Clinton, Obama. Oh my God, it's great. Maybe get this.
So that's
Maybe
more like,
even Trump. Maybe.
So-
no, he wouldn't do it because this is.
I
gonna
see
be
the
bad for him.
Clinton, Obama, Jimmy Carter thing is more like the three guys in the Star Wars thing where they're
Yeah.
the ghosts in the tree, right, or
They
something.
could- yeah. But that could be like the outtake or the preview thing. They walk up to him, and they tear his clothes off, and underneath the blue suit, he's got a golfing uniform. They hand him golf clubs. Then this sparkly, not Elon Musk, not a Tesla golf cart. What kind of golf cart? Rivian. A Rivian golf cart comes up, like special Rivian golf cart comes up. He gets in. They drive off the stage. Then the vagina.
Vagina now.
Uterus, vagina, uterus, like diagram. And then the three ladies come like sirens, and there are sirens playing. Like that.
I'm so sad.
But this is how, and it brought to you. And then we got an opioid commercial, right? Who said opioids? Yeah, we got the
opioids. Anyone feeling
right?
down?
Yeah, Bradlock. Opioid commercial. Stage kitchen table. Chrissy Kibach says, I'm sorry, I don't have my reading glasses on. It says kitchen table. Empty his chair.
Oh yeah, he always talks about the empty chair at the table.
Oh,
That's one of his things.
Oh yeah. Okay, what else? Yeah. So it's a kitchen table. He's sitting at the kitchen table and he's like, folks. He reads off a teleprompter. He says, folks. What does he say? Because he doesn't want to.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, Larry's saying while the theme 2001: A Space Odyssey is playing.
Right, him at the bed.
Like a while ago.
In the bed. Yeah, so all the videos are showing of him at different ages, and then there's the him lying in the bed, and then the big monolith comes, and then he gets reborn as Kamala Harris. Beautiful.
It's like it's a new ending of 2001.
Yeah, so that was the thing is, right, originally they were thinking about having nukes go off. That was one of the ideas that Arthur C. Clarke and Kubrick came up with, but it was like, that's too much like Dr. Strangelove, so we're not going to have the alien baby
Kubrick is a
destroy the planet.
Yeah.
We'll just let it be this mysterious baby.
Man, did you ever read that book?
The
2001.
I think I did, but what I remember reading though is the original short story. So he wrote the book came sort of simultaneously with the movie, but the original short story is a lot different. Well, it's just about the monolith finding, and not even monolith, right? It's a pyramid. They find it on the moon, and it's indication they realize that there's alien life, right? I think that's all the short story is.
Cody V says Carter's in better shape than Biden and Trump. And there's a sad looking emoji next to it. Tina Nixon says, while watching the Vance opiate doc and sponsored by. Yeah. You know, I listened to Hillbilly Elegy too. And I didn't read it. I didn't have it in my hand. I didn't touch it, but it was in my Audible. And you were like so mad. You're like, why are you listening to that?
I don't remember that, but
you were mad. I was like, why?
I thought it was
Well, because I listened to Educated, and then I think I read Educated. I was like, oh my God, I can't get enough of people, growing up in Appalachia and then going to Harvard or whatever. All those and like learning that. I couldn't get enough of that because I'm a teacher. And then I was like, okay, I'll read this, and you were like, why are you reading that? Then.
Well, that's good. I'll take it. I don't believe that that's actually what I was that astute in knowing that he was a monster.
No, you totally knew he was.
Wow,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. You were like, why
it's
are
like
you
a
reading
poser.
that? Yeah.
Okay.
No, it wasn't even a poser. You said he was a monster.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and listen to those episodes, Radio Zero, to see.
Vance is such an ass-licking grifter. Yeah. So, all right, so what do we got? So where are we?
To tie it all together, I said at the beginning there was that thing about CBGBs for all of you.
Yeah, we played at CBGB's. So you should be listening
so the
to
thing
our
is that
views.
we got a little message from Chris Lost, or I got a message from Chris Lost last night during the off show, and I couldn't respond to it. He said he was watching this documentary, How to Rob a Bank, and said,
which is about Seattle music.
Seattle, no. It's about a Seattle series of bank robberies. But Chris had written. I'm watching the first 5 minutes of this.
It's a documentary.
And I see. I'm not. I don't think this is. I believe what I'm seeing. And then he said, "Oh," and then texted another thing that said, "Oh, definitely. This is really weird." And then I didn't. And he sent the timestamp. And so this morning I went and watched the first 5 minutes of this documentary, and they're establishing about Seattle, about how Seattle in the 1990s, you had all the Amazon money coming in, you had the Microsoft money, you had the Nintendo money coming in, and then how there were all these banks, and then they were talking about how Seattle was becoming, this major city, and then talking about Nirvana and grunge, and then they do the little like 5-minute grunge thing, and then there's what band is it? Is it the Toadies? The music is some other grunge band, but then all of a sudden they show a shot of a long curly haired woman rocking out playing the bass, like just for a second while somebody's talking about grunge music, and then I'm like, whoa, and then they have a talking head, and then they cut to a shot of Poster Children playing
Our band
playing at CBGB's in 1990. What would it have been? 92, right? The year punk broke, right? And people, jumping around and doing what was it called? Crowd surfing.
People were crowd surfing.
Yeah.
It was I don't know what we were playing because they don't have our music.
We're the stock music footage or stock footage of grunge all of a sudden, and it's like. And it's especially funny because it's not a Seattle band, and it's not even
we're not a Seattle
show
band.
In Seattle. It's CBGB's,
Yeah.
And I realized, it's that. So they like when grunge broke that year, CNN did a segment on grunge, and we happened to be in New York the day they were shooting stuff, and so they went to CBGB's, shot us at. Playing, and then we did an interview, right?
Yeah,
we were interviewed.
Yeah,
on
that's
CNN
when
as
you,
part
when
of the
you
segment.
said grunge is all. Oh no, it's a different thing. That's right.
The
it's
Dave
a different
Kendall thing. There's a
yeah,
grunge segment. So they talked to Johnny or Joey Ramone, I remember, but I can't remember what other people they talked to about grunge, and we were like the young stupid grunge kids that they talked to, but so apparently that's sitting in the archives, right? Stock footage.
Yeah,
and it's like we need
CNN.
So we need generic
stock
grunge footage
Get me
of
Hulk running.
a band playing with people crowd surfing, and it's like, here's a clip, and they just popped it in there. It was very exciting.
Cool.
And so that's what happened today. Is the personal trainer is talking to them. And then it was like, I talked about off and talked about
and is his personal trainer
Black
like
Flag,
a
and
punk,
then it was like,
is he
okay,
a punk
and
dude?
he was kind of younger, but then it was like, and he was like, the lead singer was. I said, the guy from Off was the lead singer of Black Flag, and he said, I know who that is. And I was like, no, it's not Henry Rollins. He was like, oh yeah, Henry Rollins. And I was like, no, it's this other guy. And then it's like, and then he was like testing me, checking like, so were you into ska? And it was like all these questions. And then he was like, do you know about CBGB's? And I was like, yeah, actually I played there. And just today I was watching footage of my band playing at CBGB's. So it was just like one of those, like we were talking about at the beginning of the show, one of those weird moments where it's just like, okay, I sound like a lunatic.
I had the same thing happen with colleagues. They were like, I'd like to go to Red Rocks, in Denver and stuff like that. And then I was like, we played there. And then I was wrong. We played the bigger place, but there was no way for me. Like there's like, then I had, that was like, because if they looked it up, they'd be like, you didn't play there. Lollapalooza was at Fiddler's Green, which is like more corporate than Red Rocks, like a bigger, like way bigger place. That's where we played. And they were like, well, it's, amazing that you even played Lollapalooza. And I was like, I don't know if it was better back when it toured or. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. Totally better. Well, yeah, I think it's better.
It was bad back then because it was already the commercialization of grunge. So,
I also think that it's really neat that it's in Chicago because I think it was my class that made Illinois decide to start having Pitchfork and Lollapalooza and other music festivals
destination
in Illinois.
Festivals.
Yeah, in
akin
Illinois.
to what Austin had going on. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was our suggestion.
All right,
U of I, fight. So what's going to happen next? Let's
predictions.
Is
this just all going to be references for old people, right? Old people references.
I don't even know what the prediction
think is that the
you're
McLaughlin
welcome.
group.
Yeah, Tina Nixon saying thanks for the off videos. They were so good. Like don't you feel like we should write a bunch of punk rock songs now? All your songs, like we can just play all the songs. We can just go on tour and play all the same fucking songs from the Trump era and stuff because it's all the same again.
Yeah.
I guess we probably can't go on tour though, because we're as old as Biden. All right, no punk rock here.
Well, no, it's just frustrating to me because I did say let's do this. Let's get a few songs together. Let's do like a 7-inch EP. Let's start.
And
working
I said
on
no.
stuff. Well, it kind of fell apart, and we tried to work on.
You have
some
to keep
music
trying again.
Yeah,
then.
that's.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not.
That's
not the way it works.
Now we're
the
angry.
creative process is not about you have to fight to force your creative,
Co-workers.
like,
All right. Well, you should
workers
put out.
to-
Why don't
to-
you put out a record then?
I'm just saying, you're like, we should do this. And it's like,
Yeah.
it was like, okay, well,
You wanted to do that back when Biden was elected.
It would have been great if we had started, we had followed through and worked on it for the past 2 or 3 years. When I said, because then we would have had this great thing coming out this month.
Yeah.
Right.
We would have known
for this shit.
We
right?
we knew we would have known.
Because
that.
I'm usually right about this stuff, and I'm
it's true.
prescient,
Yeah.
and I have good ideas,
Yeah.
and but it's like, nope.
This is say J5. I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses on. J5 in the dish says, "Will Poster Children play Chicago again?"
Never.
I'm going to say yes. Why wouldn't they?
Well, somebody could have a grabber.
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
All right. I already hit the outro music. I thought we were going to end it, and we're past an hour.
I liked our movie. I like figuring out how Biden's going to exit gracefully this way. And I like the movie references, so I hope it continues. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be, because he's an older gentleman, it'll be something like the end of Casablanca.
Which is, I don't like.
What would have to happen? Kamala would have to get on an airplane?
I still like the vagina idea.
Not a vagina idea. Uterus, please.